Hi, happy Father's Day from the Soul Sister channel. My name is Kat, and I am here with your weekly astrological forecast starting today, June the 20th, happy Father's Day, and going all the way through Saturday, June the 26th. Let's get started by becoming balanced and aligned and taking our 3 deep cleansing breaths. Today, we will start on our Cancer, Sun in Cancer mantra for the month, since the Sun does go into Cancer today. More on that later. Let's start by taking our 3 deep cleansing breaths. Let's take the first one. On this first deep cleansing breath, we're releasing all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our physical etheric bodies. Second breath. On this second breath, we're releasing all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our emotional astral bodies. Third breath. On this third breath, we're releasing all disease, negativity, and toxicity from our mental bodies, both higher and lower. We see all the darkness and negativity flowing right out of our bodies, flowing right back to wherever it came from. In its place, we're being filled with this incredible white light made up of white light, love, and the will to good. Now we want to visualize this filling our entire bodies and then going out and forming a protective bubble around us. And this bubble is made up of the white light, love, and the will to good, and it is deflecting all evil, low vibration, and negativity back to its source. Now, while we are in this space of white light, we are going to say our Cancer affirmation. As above, so below. I contain the entire universe within me, and from that space, I grow and glow. Okay, we're going to say this mantra together, say this affirmation together, and then we're going to sit in this space of white light for 5 seconds. Let's say it together. As above, so below. I contain the entire universe within me, and from that space, I grow and glow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, that's our affirmation for Cancer. Cancer is all about finding our space within ourselves, that safe space, our true self. And from that space, from our true self and our higher self, that's how we grow and we share our light with everyone. So we're going to be working on that affirmation this month. Well, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there of all our wonderful children. Thank you so much for everything you do to keep our children taken care of, both financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Thank you so much for being in our children's lives. You know, the mom energy nurtures, and the dad energy is kind of takes care of and protects. So we want to look at that energy. Now, having said that, having thanked our physical fathers today, we want to remember that when we are talking about energy, we're not necessarily talking about gender. So today we honor the divine masculine within all of us. The divine feminine creates, she imagines. She is the part of ourselves that creates and works with higher self to co-create. The divine masculine manifests that idea, brings that idea, that creation into the physical world. So on this channel, we are learning how to do that consciously, to co-create consciously. We are co-creating all the time, most of the time unconsciously, so most of the time we don't get what we thought we got or what we think we want or whatever that is. But today we honor the divine masculine within each and every one of us, that part that takes our creativity and create something physical with it, manifests it in the physical world. Wonderful energy. That's the first energy I want to talk about today. We have so much going on this week. It's making this astrologer quite giddy. Oh my gosh, I have never had so much to talk about. Here's an example. I had to write it down. Let me go back and look it up for you today. Today is Father's Day. It is also summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year. The sun is up as longest it is, and now we will start coming back. The sun will go set earlier and earlier until we get to the winter solstice in December. So we're celebrating the fullness of the summer. Happy summer to everyone. Happy summer solstice. That is also today. Next up is, where do I want to go next? I don't know. Jupiter goes retrograde today. I'm going to talk about that next. Jupiter is going retrograde today. I believe Jupiter will be retrograde in Pisces. It starts off in Pisces, and then Jupiter will go into Aquarius, and then it will go direct, I believe, December 2nd, I think, in the sign Aquarius. I'm going to talk about that, more about that in a minute. We also have Mercury going direct on Tuesday. That's awesome news. I mean, Mercury retrograde is the most difficult of the retrogrades because it's right in our face. And you've got, you know, Mercury, that guy with the little wings, you know, everything is moving quick. And then when we don't honor the cycle of reviewing, then everything just collapses and crashes. You know, the other planets that we're working with Jupiter today, Neptune on Saturday. Neptune's going retrograde on Saturday. Pluto's already retrograde. Saturn's retrograde right now. They're not as insistent. They more like perk beneath the surface and just bring things up, right? Just not at ya, boom, 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 like Mercury did, like the car accident, or my daughter took a test and the whole internet collapsed. The whole internet went out right in the middle of an exam. That kind of stuff. Tuesday, on its way out, thank goodness. We have Thursday, we have a full moon, and Friday, Neptune goes retrograde. I already talked about that. Later today, the sun goes into Cancer, and on Saturday, Venus goes into Leo. It's just chock full of planetary energy this week. It makes me so happy. I could talk for ages. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on to Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter retrograde is going to be retrograde. I lied. I thought it was December 2nd. I think that's Neptune. It will be retrograde until October the 18th. It is turning retrograde today in Pisces. It'll move back into Aquarius at the end of July. And then when it goes direct, it'll still be in Aquarius. So Jupiter retrograde is about, the question is, we're looking at the last cycle of the Jupiter cycle. So Jupiter came out, Jupiter went direct, I believe, in February. So in that time period, we want to take a look at what decisions we made pertaining to our growth. Jupiter is all about expansion. So Jupiter wants us, and we've had this Aquarian energy reinventing ourselves. We've been working with this energy since last year. As this Aquarian energy comes in big time for the next 2,000 years, and those old traditional jobs that we were holding, or the careers, or even the skills, are no longer valid. We cannot sustain ourselves. So Jupiter again Jupiter is work oriented. It is it's not the total focus, but what decisions or what were we entertaining in mid-February? We want to take a look at that. Now we're cycling back and we're saying, okay, how did that work? Did it work out the way we wanted it to? Did we that opportunity take us to where we wanted it to take us, or do we have to review it? Here's another question. Did we miss an opportunity because it was just too weird, too out of the box for us? And now we're kind of regretting that we didn't pay more attention or take it more seriously. That energy is going to come back. We might have that opportunity again at the end of July when the retrograding Jupiter goes into Aquarius. So after that opportunity that we passed up may present itself again. So keep that in the back of your head. So what decisions have we made? What lessons have we learned? What false starts or false turns have we made that we need to adjust? Jupiter in Pisces is also about our spirituality. We have Neptune in Pisces and we have Jupiter in Pisces. I have been saying over and over again, it's so important that we develop and grow this relationship with our higher self, because this is the energy that is going to get us through this new Aquarian energy, and how we will be not only successful but fulfilled. So we need to continue to work on a spiritual discipline of making a connection with our higher self on a routine basis, and making sure that we grow that relationship. On the other hand, Jupiter in Pisces is also about our escape. You know, it's very close. Fantasy, spirituality, and delusion, all very close. So you have to be very careful. Where have we deluded ourselves? What fantasy stories have we been telling ourselves? We know what they are. Well, Jupiter's like, hey, and Neptune's going to come out, help too, when Neptune goes retrograde. Those parts of ourselves where we have been less than truthful, they're going to be exposed, and the truth is going to come out. It's going to be very uncomfortable to keep telling our story. So those are things that this energy is going to be looking like, but the bottom line of the Jupiter retrograde, as I've been babbling about it, is it's all about finding our bliss. What brings us joy? What brings us passion? That decision in February, did that go towards that? Did that bring us fulfillment? Did that bring us excitement? No? Then let's readjust. Let's take a different path. That's what this Jupiter retrograde is about. Growing our spiritual relationship, discovering and growing that, and finding our bliss. So, by making us look at very uncomfortable parts of ourselves. The skeletons in the closet, you know, here's the thing. They're going to be there. I'm going to leave them in the closet this week because there's so much other energy to talk about. There's so much positive energy to talk about this week. We really want to focus on that. The skeletons are there. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going anywhere at all because, gosh, we got to what? October at the earliest to work these issues out. Also today, the other big energy is the sun going into Cancer. We did our affirmation. We are very much in touch with our emotions, and the keynote for us is what nurtures us and what nurtures those around us. That is the question that we ask ourselves with the sun in Cancer. How am I nurturing myself? Am I doing a good job? Do I need to make other adjustments? Do I need to balance? Do I need to, release something or someone? And how about those around me? Am I doing my part in giving and receiving? These are the questions of the sun in Cancer energy. That's a lot of stuff, and I even haven't gone through the whole week yet. I'm not going to. I would love for you to come see me every day because each day is chock full with something new. I just can't fit it in all in today. But today it's Happy Father's Day. It's Happy Summer Solstice. It's the sun going into Cancer, and it's Jupiter retrograde. That's just for today. So let's see what the universe has to provide as far as insight for our coming week that is going to actually be very delightful. I haven't been able to say that for a long time. We have some wonderful Jupiter. That Jupiter in Pisces is making some incredibly nice connections. And so we've got some great energy coming up this week. All right, guides, what would you like to share with us this week? Yang, yang. It's all about taking action. Yang is our divine masculine. How about that? Thank you, Spirit. Spirit wants to also honor the divine masculine in all of us today. Happy Father's Day from the universe. As we honor our yang, our action, our passion, fork in the road. Well, some of us need to make a decision. We need to decide whether we're going to hang on to the status quo because of its safety, even though it doesn't fulfill us, or are we going to take a risk? Some of us have to make that decision. We haven't made it, and it's still waiting to be made. So work with higher self. Try to get a clear direction for yourself. And if you can't, just follow your gut and let higher self lead the way. The bottom line, especially with Jupiter turning retrograde, follow your bliss. This is all about it. With this Jupiter in retrograde, if we don't do that, it's not going to be pretty for us. We're going to be so uncomfortable and exhausted trying to fight that good energy. Why? Imagine. Energy of Pisces. Imagine. You have to imagine to co-create. First requirement. And as we develop this relationship with our higher self, we need to understand that it's through our imagination that we actually can access. So like in the beginning, access our higher self, I'm getting carried away. At the beginning of the video when we did the 3 deep cleansing breaths, that's imagination. And that's how co-creation starts. And since we're doing it consciously, we are consciously co-creating an environment for ourselves by taking those 3 deep cleansing breaths that is safe. And we are held in the safe protection of the universe. So remember that. Remember that this week. Please come see me at Facebook. I do daily inspirational messages there, as well as some interesting memes. I gotta tell you, they're kind of interesting. If you like what you see today, please like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And remember, the keynote of this station is life is lived from the inside out. Have a great week. Enjoy this glorious energy. Namaste.